Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to some more Fan Fridays, this time with a battle from Boris, bringing out an interesting team. Like, we got Crobat Mimikyu, and honestly, like, I'd be okay with seeing some more Crobat. It's a pretty powerful Pokemon. There's been some weird combos out there. Like, when was the last time we saw the White Herb Cursed Crobat? That thing was devastating. And then we got double waifu lead, so this is gonna be pretty fun right here. The question is that the Mega Lopunny? Because that seems about right. Or is it going to be the Mega Audino? Then what's Lopunny going to do? I don't know. So, team's too nervous to eat berries. We'll see if that actually ends up getting in the way. The opponent going to bring out, or switch out Haxorus, bring in the Komodo. That could get pretty scary as well. So now Audino will go for that Mega Evolution, showing that it wants to be a supportive Pokemon with just crazy stats. And what does that mean for the Lopunny? Is Lopunny going to get that fake out, or is it just going to go for the setup? So no fake out. And then Lopunny is going to get a Cosmic Power. Nice. Alright, so we have the Audino supporting for the Cosmic Power Lopunny. Things could get weird, and Audino's going to get that Simple Beam. So Cute Charm goes away. Simple Lopunny. Going for the stats. Now, it's too fast. The Cosmic Power is going to not really feel that +2 just yet. Hurricane on Audino. Audino tanks it really well. And then we're seeing a Z move. That's from the opponent. Like, look at the opponent. Going all out for the Dragon. Got the Komodo set up, as well as, of course, it's going to be Komodo MZ, or whatever it's called, into the Clangorous Soul Blaze. So, wants to win right there. However, it's not going to affect the Audino. So the Dragon team a little disadvantaged by the Audino right there, but Audino doesn't look to be offensive, so it's more from that defensive, can't use stab kind of feel. And yeah, Komodo's going to feel the groove, do his thing, try to wreck damage, and then gain crazy stats. And there we go. Also, does it reverse for the Clangorous Soul Blaze? Like, I feel like it treats it as though it was the opponent when it does that, because then it would be mirrored. I don't know, that was kind of weird. But that's going to be another Cosmic Power from the Lopunny now at +3 on the defenses. So it already tanked that Clangorous Soul Blaze pretty well, and now it's going to tank even harder. Dazzling Gleam from the Audino. Not crazy damage, still looking like 3-hit KO on the opponent, but Noivern going to switch out, doesn't have too many options against this setup, and then Charizard's going to come in. So Komodo's going to Drain Punch. It's aight. Like, that's a crazy hit because it's super effective. That should be really hurting the opponent. But all that Cosmic Power, Lopunny just not caring at all. Okay. Stats, yo. +5. Audino with the Heal Pulse as well. And that's it. It's over. It's done. GG. You didn't knock out the support Pokemon. You focused Lopunny. It's at full. But I mean, if you were focusing on Audino, then Lopunny would be at full anyways. Yeah. There's really no winning, and now Komodo isn't even healing that well. As Charizard goes for a Dragon Dance. So I guess trying to like keep that fire typing on its side to make it to where the Dazzling Gleam doesn't do a lot of damage. But now it's going to be a Z move. So Z move on the Lopunny. What is that going to do? Boosting its attack drastically with the Z power. Lopunny is going to go for the Z Splash? Alright, so we got Z Splash Lopunny. Heal Pulse on the Audino, going to bring Lopunny back up to full health. Lopunny's not +5 defenses, +3 on the attack. Is it going to go for the damage now? Or is something else? Like, it can't just like Mega into this all of a sudden, so that's kind of weird. It's going to be up against Charizard X. So Charizard X, it doesn't matter how much setup is going on right here. Like, the Dragon Dance, not enough to get over those defenses. The Komodo Z, not enough to get over the defenses. Audino, though, will get wrecked. And that's Audino finally going down after the opponent's trying to gain some ground. And now we're going to see Drain Punch. Like, the only thing that could win is a crit. And there's no crit, so it's over. That's like the GG right there. And then Komodo will get a little bit of hit points back. So Lopunny has a Baton Pass. And now we're giving those stats to anything. Mimikyu. Nice. All right. So now we have the defensive Mimikyu with already a Z Splash under it. Everything dies. And Lopunny comes back in. Immediately like, hey, Lopunny, what's up? Back again. Flare Blitz is going to target the Lopunny. So it looks like the opponent going to use that as the opportunity to take out Lopunny before it does anything scary again. But I mean, you can't win now. It's impossible to win at this point. Komodo going to use that flamethrower. Flamethrower's not going to do anything but break the disguise, and then Mimikyu has a play rough, and then Komodo's going to die. So play rough onto Komodo. Did you notice that little bit of lag right before it happened? That was interesting. Komodo takes way too much damage. That is probably one of the highest overkills ever happening in Pokemon right there. And then we go into the Crobat. So Noivern going to do a thing. And now it's just like, now just play rough everything. You know, it was a Dragon team, so now we're seeing the Mimikyu choice kind of coming through. But Shadow Sneak outspeeding, just wrecking the Charizard right there. The +3. You know, Z Splash Mimikyu already pretty awesome. But then you take that Z Splash and you just like give it to something else while keeping whatever Mimikyu's item is. Haxorus comes in. We already saw him earlier. Haxorus pieced out early, but yeah, it's not looking good. So Crobat with the Brave Bird. Now this is where we see the damage. You know, Crobat, it has more damage than the Talonflame. So Brave Bird Crobat will be enough to take down the Noivern from half health. I mean, it has really good finishing damage. Really good, like, just snowballing late game potential like that. Poison Jab onto the Mimikyu. Poison's going to be more effective than the actual damage of that move. So now play rough. Haxorus isn't Focus Sash. Yeah, it'll hang on just a little bit. So what else are you going to do? It's not like Dragon Dance would matter. Nothing really matters, and the game is over. So pretty interesting setup. Let's see if it can happen again. But the Z Splash Lopunny, I got respect for something that is that wild. Next battle. Alright, so let's get into this next battle with some legendaries. I wonder how that's going to go. Like, at least Raikou, it does have good amounts of damage, but sometimes you might want to set up before crazy things happen. It's not like the most overwhelmingly powerful Pokemon. Also, the opponent's running a Moltres, so we're either going to see something crazy from the Moltres, or it's not going to be the worst thing ever. Then there's the Lopunny Audino. So, we know how the setup's going to go. We just get to see how brilliantly it finishes off the battle this time. Also, like, you know, how many more points you need to get. Because this is a really awkward position that you have to do. Because, yeah, that first Cosmic Power is just going to be +1. After that, the Simple's going to double it. And then when do you go for the actual Z Splash? After, yeah, it's like, it's just how long you want to take setting up the strat. So, Lopunny going to come in with that Cosmic Power. And Cosmic Power going to be pretty good right there, as we see the opponent go for the Flamethrower on the Moltres. So damage from Moltres onto Audino is not going to be that great. Audino with that Simple Beam will come through and then land onto Lopunny. Also, it looks like this is an in-game team from the opponent right now. Just like, oh, the straight Thunder Fang onto the Raikou with that with the Flamethrower on the Moltres. So this is what happens when you go onto the battle spot for the first time and you get styled on. Like, you go against a person that knows what they're doing, and then things get crazy. But I can show respect to the guy bringing the in-game team that has a Pikachu hat on with the Pikachu shirt. This kid loves Pokemon, but he's not going to love it after today. So that's going to be Air Slash onto Lopunny. Lopunny, not really too worried, doesn't take damage. We don't really see a flinch, so none of that's going to happen. And then Lopunny with the Cosmic Power. Gonna just keep getting tanky, and then this is how strategy is born. So Air Slash onto the Audino, a little bit of damage right there. Audino's gonna turn around with a Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam, not really going to do too much. I would maybe just go for the Heal Pulse just to keep healing up, because there's really nothing else to do. So that's gonna be the Thunder Fang onto just progressively doing less and less and less damage with the scaling on that Cosmic Power. Now the Z move gonna come through. That's gonna be the Z Splash. Like, why? It's such a cool concept, that Z Splash. We haven't talked about Z Splash in a while. Just, you have a move that does nothing, but you Z move it into a stronger Swords Dance. So if you don't have any Z moves planned for your team or anything like that, the Z Splash can just kind of work and work out. So now it's like, oh, now we have a Pokemon that doesn't have access to any damage boosting, getting the damage boosting, and then taking it to the next level. So it looks like the plan is, you go +5 on those defenses, and at least until Audino goes down. Like, say Audino gets focused heavily, you get like one Heal Pulse off, and then Audino faints while you're at +3, and you go for the Z Splash or something. Yeah, +3 defense is still going to be more than enough. But then we have the, we already have like +5 in a lot of setups, and that seems like when you want to end it, because no reason wasting a turn just to get minimal stats. The way that stats work in Pokemon, there's a lot of diminishing returns, so when it comes down to those diminishing returns, you're better off sometimes just giving up and going for the damage or continuing your setup. One thing I will say that if you are going to be submitting for Fan Fridays though, try not to show battles with the obvious in-game teams. Like, we had the good battle before, backing it up, so that showed a little bit of cool stuff, but it doesn't matter if the opponent has legendaries if they're not going to be utilizing them on a competitive level. So now, giving the Raikou simple, just to see what fun comes from that. And the opponent's going to bring in the Necrozma, but Necrozma's going to have a really bad time, because if it's Ultra Necrozma, Mimikyu has to play rough, and that's going to be insane amounts of damage. Or you just Shadow Sneak, and then that's still going to be insane amounts of damage. +3, Stab is enough for Mimikyu to take out quite a bit. Super effective hit, all that fun stuff. Audino's going to protect, just doesn't want to worry about damage right now. Necrozma's got that Photon Geyser, which will be protected right there, and then Mimikyu comes in with a Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw onto Necrozma will be enough for the KO. Doesn't have to be play rough with that. Also don't want to take those accuracy chances, I guess. Crunch comes in from the Raikou. Raikou doing nothing to the Mimikyu with all that Cosmic Power set up. Ho-Oh will be the last Pokemon, and like we saw with the Moltres, so we're just going to see with Shadow, like the Ho-Oh. Shadow Claw, GG, no re. And that's going to be the battle. So the setup seems pretty fun. I like the Cosmic Power Lopunny. That was like one of the cool things before Mega Lopunny came out. It's like, oh man, Cosmic Power, ultimate tankiness. Cosmic Power is one of the best moves in the game. Cool setup on the Lopunny. But then we got Mega, so it's like, well, it's harder to justify it. I guess the Z move gives it a bit more justification because you can't Z move plus Mega. But I mean, you're giving up a 135 base speed Pokemon with insane amounts of damage, support, and damage. So that's something. And there we go, guys. So that's going to wrap up the battle. Can't wait to see you in the next one for Fan Fridays.